So, you guys might have heard that a while back, uh, NASA was taking bids from private space exploration companies for uh, a contract to put astronauts on the moon. And SpaceX, Elon Musk's space exploration company, won that contract. One of the companies competing was Jeff Bezos's space company, Blue Origin. And if you or me are vying for a contract, a freelance gig, a job, when we lose or we don't get picked or we don't get hired or we get we get second or sorry, we get that letter that says, we appreciate it, but we decided to go with somebody else. When that happens to us, that's it. We move on. We take the loss if it was like, a freelance gig or a contract gig that we were hoping to get. We just move on. We didn't get it. However, if you are Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell, excuse me, Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell from Washington State, what you do for Jeff Bezos, who is your constituent because Blue Origin is out of Washington State, that's where it's based, you go ahead and you add an amendment into a piece of legislation that gives $10 billion to Jeff Bezos' company anyway. Regardless of the fact that they didn't get the contract, regardless of NASA's not going to be working with them to put astronauts on the moon like they're doing with Elon Musk's company, you're going to get that $10 billion anyway. It's just, just another example of how you always win if you are in the elite class. Once you are so obscenely wealthy, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It doesn't matter how many fines you receive. It does not matter. You can't fail because you will always be bailed out because you were viewed by other elites, by the powers in this country, as being too important to fail. And one day after this news breaks about this $10 billion freebie to Jeff Bezos, it's announced that Jeff Bezos' other company, the one you might have heard of, Amazon, is acquiring the legendary Hollywood movie studio, MGM. How much are they going to pay for MGM? $8.45 billion. So we literally are going to give money to Bezos for him to buy a movie studio practically. Not only that, not only is he getting a free movie studio on the taxpayer dime, he's actually going to still have $2 billion left over. And this comes day one, that's space news. Day two, the MGM news. Go back to day one, and Amazon is actually being sued for antitrust violations where they're basically gaming the system on where else, Amazon.com, to make sure prices remain higher because they have that power to do so. I mean, this is on top of other antitrust issues with Amazon where they find a popular product by a smaller company and they go ahead and make their own Amazon branded version. And then they compete on their own marketplace and they promote their own product on their own marketplace over the original product. And obviously the original product has to pay for advertising on Amazon if they want to bump their visibility on the Amazon pages up. I mean, it is just ludicrous. Just ludicrous. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like this one is so in your face absurd. You lose a contract, you lose a contract. There should be no reason for you to get a free $1 billion worth of the money that contract was supposed to be for on a contract you lost. And then the nerve to go around the next day and purchase a movie studio for nearly the same price, clearly showing you don't fucking need that money. Senator Bernie Sanders came out and said he's going to try to block that amendment that would give Jeff Bezos that $10 billion. Just ludicrous. Ludicrous. Monica in the chat says space is an investment that should have never been privatized. Absolutely. Absolutely. There were people in Bernie Sanders' mentions I saw that were attacking Bernie, saying Jeff Bezos worked hard for his money. And then in the same breath saying, we need to give him that $10 billion for the space exploration because it's important we do so. It'll benefit us all. Private corporations, private companies are not getting into space exploration for the greater good. Are you kidding me? The first thing that will happen as soon as they're able to do so is we've already seen it actually. What am I talking about? We've already seen it. The highest bidders spending, I don't even remember how much, tens of thousands, I think, if not hundreds of thousands, to get that first seat on a ship to space. Are you kidding me? The people, these I fucking love science people, they really think that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are researching the great beyond for the greater good? Absolutely not. They're doing it so they could line their pockets. Big money in space exploration, because imagine being a company that could send people to space. Imagine being one of the first to do that. Not to mention, look at all the money they're getting already from the government. That's the incentive right there to do it. I guarantee you that movie, that Matt Damon movie, Elysium, that is going to end up being a movie people look back on in I don't know how many years from now and say, I mean, the warning was right fucking there. That's the same director who did District 9, right? Another great movie that really warns about adjacent shit like that. I mean, we are literally going to create a great beyond where the elite of the elite live. And if something went down here, you better believe those people who are simping for Musk and Bezos, thinking that they're exploring space for the greater good, would be fucking left down here to rot and die first thing. While all the rich people hightailed it off of planet Earth.